What's up, everybody? I am Alex Lajas, the Queen of the Ring, and I am here with a YouTube megastar and now a musical theater megastar, Simon Miller. How are you? Recovering from sickness from WrestleMania.
Recovering from sickness and, right out of WrestleMania into musical theater. Who wouldn't do that, right? Why wouldn't I have done that? But no, it's good. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I'm beaten up and I'm still a bit sick, but I'm still here. And that's the main thing.
That is the main thing. So let's talk about the last match, a pro wrestling experience musical. You're playing Alexander Swagger, who is a heel.
Yes.
But he doesn't seem like a typical heel that you would imagine. So tell me more about your character.
I would call him a scared, timid man who then hides that by being over the top, arrogant, and a massive, I'm trying to think of the right word I can use here. He's like, I think deep down he probably is a nice person, but because he's so scared of the world, he just is the worst, most over the top. Imagine, imagine a heel from the 1980s, but turned up to even 400. To the point, literally, when I first started doing it, they're like, you're too grounded. You're too grounded. Push it, push it, push it. To the point I was stomping around like an idiot. They're like, more, more, more. So I think they just want this incredibly over-the-top character, which is great for me, because one, it's always the funnest character to play, but also I'm the only British guy on the whole team. And for some reason, when you have a British guy that's a villain, people just think it comes across as more evil. So I'm a British, evil, over-the-top 1980s heel.
Right, and it's a mix of Broadway and West End. And so what's your singing... soprano, where are you at?
It's wonderful. When people hear it, they're like, wow, those sultry tones. No. So thankfully, my song is more, we'll call it spoken word, but it's more growled or I don't know, delivered. And it's absolutely crazy because you've got people in there belting out show tunes like it's nothing. It's just so effortless, and then I can't even get the rhythm of my stupid song. But again, I think that kind of ties into it because I think, I could be totally wrong, the idea is he thinks he's singing and it's wonderful, but actually he's just, again, belting out a bunch of arrogant, ridiculous things. He's a moron, but I think this is why I connect with him, because if you see my content, I'm a moron too, and I like to think how these two things came together. It's a very enjoyable role to play. I'm genuinely having a good time. I just get to be the worst person in the play, and it's totally fine. And of course, when we have a live audience, I'm encouraged to yell at people as well. Yeah. It's just going to be the best.
Well, you talk about your content and being silly. So what's the differences or the obstacles that you face doing a YouTube channel as opposed to a musical?
Well, I think, with a YouTube, you can just go and you can just do what you want. You kind of have carte blanche. But of course here, there has to be timing cues. The play can't go on for, 4 hours. I suppose it could do. So again, it's just about, it's numerous things. It's about, again, knowing your cues, when you have to enter, even with the wrestling, to make sure it marries up with the commentary. There does have to be a bit of a synergy between the two. But then you also want to make sure you get the wrestling in, because I presume that wrestling people are going to be there as well. So yeah, it's really, really fun. I do feel like I can take elements of the YouTube stuff, but because it's more character-based, I think this is what I'm enjoying the most is I got into acting after the pandemic because I thought I wanted to do something new because I was just so bored of doing nothing. And while I've sort of been in a few adverts and things like that, this is the first time when I've been told, here's a character, and I've just been lucky enough that it does have the wrestling elements. But again, they'd seen all my YouTube stuff, so he's meant to be a moron. So if you want to bring some of your goofy stuff into it, that's actually going to be a benefit. So don't get me wrong, you have to react off people and you have to make sure, again, when it's just you can throw your arms around. So I have to make sure that I give them their space too. But it's a great learning experience. And I never thought in a million years that I'd be doing musical theatre without singing. It kind of feels like a cheat code a little bit, but it's been really fun and really enjoyable. And I think no matter what happens, I'll come out the other end it'll be just a great experience that I'll never forget, which is kind of what I like to do because it's scary. I like scary circumstances. I feel like you learn about yourself in scary circumstances.
Yeah, because you got to get out of your comfort zone, right? So doing a musical and even just getting into acting, being in front of a camera for YouTube is easy, right? But then being in front of a live audience and having the experience of a musical theater. But you've also wrestled as well.
Yeah.
And wrestling is theater.
It is.
Right?
Absolutely. So there's definitely elements of that I can bring that in too. But again, it's remembering that. So in the ring stuff is the stuff that I'm worried about the least, right? We're very, very lucky in the sense it's a choreographed wrestling match. So I watched it once and I was like, oh, I've got this. So I just go over it in my mind. Because usually you turn up at a show, you're fighting him, come up with 10 minutes, and then I'm walking to the ring going, I don't remember what spot number 9 was. Whereas here, we've got 2 weeks to rep it. So that's what I'm not worried about at all. But again, it's all the other stuff. For example, when you do a run-in, on a wrestling show, you just run in and you just hit somebody with moves, but now it ties into a story because you've got to make sure you do it to that guy because later on this is going to happen there, and the commentators need to see this because it's a red herring, and it's like, so it's I'm not going to call it complicated because it's a simple enough story to understand, but it's more layered because it's you still has that amazing sort of impact that wrestling has. Like, oh my gosh, that happens for the fans, but we actually know, oh no, because it's going to, it's amazing. It's like you've taken all these worlds and you've smashed it into one. So trust me, if some people in there have never wrestled ever, how they're doing it, I have no idea. They've picked it up so damn quick. But again, it's all, I guess I'm on the other sense of trying to understand, okay, well, if I act here, what do I have to do over here? And I need to overdo it here, but maybe not there. So I feel a lot more comfortable, again, because camera experience helps, wrestling experience helps. So I'm kind of the brand new actor guy and then all the rest of the brand new everything else guy. But then together we come together as a unit, you see, and hopefully we'll be friends for life. Or they all hate me. It's one of the two. I don't know which one it is. So
I don't think anyone can hate you.
I don't know. Someone must do. My parents probably. No, they don't. I always make that joke. They don't. They don't hate me at all. They don't.
Well, I don't think the audience that are coming to this show will hate you.
Well,
even though you're heel.
You're going to hate me. No. If you come, you must hate me. Honestly, the thing I'm looking forward to the most is, again, we can't go too far with it because it has to start and stop. I just want to yell at people in the crowd. Because, again, I usually get booked as a babyface. So actually getting to not only play a heel, but one that is just so over the top. You can probably say whatever you want within PG realms. Oh, man, that's the thing I can't wait for the most. I've told them, I'm a bit worried. I can't over-riff. They'll be like... Because apparently when they were doing the concept shows before, that was an issue. It's like, oh my gosh, this match has gone on for 40 minutes because people are yelling at the crowd. I do think you need to do a little bit of that. Because again, hopefully we're going to get a mixture of wrestling and theatre fans. And the wrestling fans are going to have to teach the theatre fans, oh no, you can be active. And the theatre fans are going to teach the wrestling fans, this is where we need to be quiet and listen. But I think that's great. I think that's why it's so exciting. And while it's almost like a big question mark, you don't know who's going to come, and you don't know how they're going to react to anything. So hopefully we can kind of steer them in a perfect direction. I'm really genuinely looking forward to it. Mostly because I don't really know what to expect.
So there's definitely going to be pro wrestling fans in the audience, but there's also going to be musical theater fans. What are 3 wrestling matches that you would suggest musical theater fans should watch, probably before this experience?
I would watch The Rock versus Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 18, because then you get all the crowd nonsense. And you're probably going to have to go back in time. So I think you probably want to watch something also like Hulk Hogan versus the Macho Man, because that kind of had the, I'm not saying there's a love interest in this, but it has the more emotional side. And then maybe Sting's last match for obvious reasons, because of course the story of the last match is Ben Vengeance, the sort of iconic professional wrestler coming to the end of his days. Everyone loves him, everyone respects him, but then you've got the new guy who, I don't care about you, man. It's my time. And that's kind of what the Young Bucks were doing in their match. They were like, we're the EVPs, we don't want you around. So, yes, I think if you watch that, you may be able to get the gravitas of, what professional wrestling is. Because, again, they do try and tell the story that, of course, it's a physical thing, but it's the emotional thing of him leaving behind this wrestling character, which got him out of bad times earlier on in his life, and now he doesn't know who he's going to be after the fact and stuff. So it really does understand professional wrestling, which is cool. So, yeah, I would say if you watch those 3 matches, then hopefully you'll come or just watch nothing and come and scream. That's fine, too. As long as there's noise. That's like wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You just, when you walk out and there's no noise, you're like, oh, it's going to be a hard night. When you walk out and there's noise, you're like, man, it's going to be the easiest thing ever. So I just hope for noise. Say whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, and then this musical is very 80s coded. So to wrap up this interview, I have a quick little fun lightning round.
Oh no, I'm so bad at this. I mean, but yeah, let's go.
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're going to be great.
Okay, excellent.
So this is called Best of 80s. Okay. So I'm going to give you some categories, and you're going to let me know what is like the best of what your favorite is.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Best 80s song.
Master of Puppets by Metallica. Yeah, that's 80s. Yeah.
See, this is easy. Yeah, you thought it was going to be hard.
I was really smash that one, yeah.
All right, best 80s movie.
I'm going to go Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll regret that later. Oh, no, Batman. The first Batman came out in 1989. I'll go Batman. Batman, there you go.
Okay,
yeah.
Batman. That's a good one. Okay, best 80s TV show.
Oh man, did Thundercats come out in the 80s? No, that was the 90s. What came out in the 80s? Alf. Remember that weird alien thing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Alf. I haven't watched that in years, but I used to like Alf and going Alf.
Well, also Ninja Turtles.
Exactly. That was 90s, wasn't it? I didn't
No,
know
it
they
was
came
like
out.
80s.
Oh, if that's 80, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, literally wearing a New York Ninja Turtles top in New York. I didn't even think about it. I just put it on.
And finally, best 80s wrestler.
I am going to go with the Macho Man Randy Savage. I never think he gets his due, really, which I understand. Well, maybe he does these days. But obviously, Hulk Hogan's always, well, it's a whole story for a different day. But no, in terms of people I really gravitated towards, yeah, it was the Macho Man in the 80s. And then the 90s, it was Bret, and then Steve Austin, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I always want the Macho Man Randy Savage to get his due, so I'm going with the Macho Man. That's a hard question, though. We've just looked over so many wrestlers. We've just thrown them to the side. But no one else will probably say Macho Man, so I'm going to say him.
I think those are good choices
Thanks
for
very
sure.
much. Excellent.
So, where can the people find you? Where can the people get some tickets? What are some tour dates? Let us know.
Absolutely. So April 26th through Rochester and then all the way down the East Coast. We're going to the ECW arena as well. And we're going to Center Stage in Atlanta. WCW, man. So, yeah, make sure you come down. Again, if you just search The Last Match, you'll find it. Otherwise, I'm talking about it all the time on my depressingly named social media, Simon of 316. I would never have done that had I have known 316. But yeah, if you search for all that stuff, you can find me, you can find The Last Match, and come on down. Genuinely would be love to see some sort of, not necessarily familiar faces, but it would be great if some people went, oh, Simon, I watched you on YouTube. Then we've got like a little mini family, and I won't feel so weird being away from home for 6 weeks. So yes, you can do that, and I will come shake your hand, and maybe even rub your head if you're bald.
Kiss some babies, shake some hands.
Oh, well, I can't really do that, can I? The other guy would have to do that. I've got to be the bad guy, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
I'll, I don't know, throw you into the road. I shouldn't have said that. I've said it now. But I'm a heel, and that's what heels do. So I'm going to throw you into the road. It's done now. There's no going back.
And I'm sure we'll give this musical an
There you go. She knows what she's doing. Maybe we won't. Maybe I'll watch it and go, this is a farce. This is terrible. No, we're getting up. We're getting up, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.